welcome to the channel. My name is Pauline, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some of the traits, some of the skills that you will want to see in your dispatcher, what makes a good dispatcher, some of the things that, or the skills that you might be able to develop or even want to see if you are planning to be a dispatcher. If you are a dispatcher, check yourself and see if you have this down. And also you as an owner operator, as a truck driver, you want to get a feel of these kind of skills from your dispatcher before you begin working with them. So let's first take it back and understand who a freight dispatcher is. We are looking at an independent freight dispatcher in this case. These are people who will find loads for you. They will negotiate the load, pay for you, and they will go ahead and book it for you. So ideally the point is to be able to give you more time as a driver, concentrating on driving other than sitting on the side of the road and trying to find these loads, because they do take some time sometimes to get to, and finding the good one is also a hassle. So if you have somebody who can do this for you, then that is your independent freight dispatcher. That's the person I'm talking about. They don't just do the booking of loads. They go ahead and, access your paperwork, present it to the brokers or the shippers for when they're booking these loads. And when a load is finished, they will upload this paperwork to whoever is supposed to be working on the payments. This could be your factoring company or the broker with whom you booked the load. Then they also do help when it comes to problem resolution. If a problem, especially if you go to pick up a load and there's a delay, the dispatcher is the one who is going to be talking with the broker to figure out what the problem is. If there's some layover fees to be discussed, some lumper fees that need to be negotiated for, their broker, the dispatcher in this case, is going to come at your rescue and handle this for you while you do the driving. So they do marketing too, in the sense that you could be marketing to find carriers. That is one thing. You as a dispatcher, you might be looking for carriers. You could be marketing your carriers to brokers and shippers, because it helps to be able to have direct relationships with the people who give us loads on a daily basis. So those are the few things that the independent freight dispatchers do. So let's take it to the purpose of the video, which is the skill set that you will need to see in your dispatcher, or you as a dispatcher must be having. The very first one, the very most important one that I see across the board, is having great communication skills. This is the point when I'll say thank you to my mother and my family for taking me to school, because this is where my skills, from school are. Great communication in the sense that you will be communicating on so many levels. First of all, when you call up the broker to try to book the load, you must be able to know how to speak, know how to get on the good side of the broker. You don't have to come and speak street language here, because it will not resonate with everybody. And then you don't have to be too polite in the sense that you seem like you're, dragging along, when we are in a fast-paced situation, because most of the time the loads are booked and they have multiple other things they're doing. They need you to be able to get on the phone, speak what you want, get to the point, speak your rate, say yes to it, negotiate around it, and get off the phone. If you are in the email, you have to be able to speak proper, get great email etiquette, a small greeting to the point, where are you coming from, where are you going, what is your rate, how many miles they are, where is your truck, where is your driver seated at, how long it's going to take them to get to the pickup. If you can be able to deliver that in an email swiftly, very clear to the point, you need to be able to express your communication skills there. Then communication skills in the sense of providing regular updates to your broker. This is something that they appreciate so much. They like to get constant updates on where the load is, how is the load, their load, because it's their money, it's their, these things are expensive that you're trying to move. So you have to be able to give somebody some sort of ease when they're working with you. So constant updates on, okay, The driver has reached the dock. They are loading. They've loaded. Here's the picture of the load. Here's the picture of the BOL. All of that is into the communication that we're talking about here. In the emails, I like to have, some already saved templates for when I'm asking, for first email when I'm asking for the load, seeing if it's available. I need to have a second template for when the load has been booked and we have, we're just saying thank you, get me the rate corn. When they have already loaded, I need to be able to have these templates going, because meantime you're working on multiple things. You don't have time to go on and type the same thing over and over again. So having templates that are already, straight to the point, nice and neat. I just copy and paste them and send, attach pictures if I must. And then having a nice little signature in your email also saves you, so that they know who they're talking to, which company you're coming from, the phone number, the website, an email. All of that is in your signature. All comes into the communication. How you're presenting yourself and how you're presenting your company is also crucial in this point. Then we want to see some kind of great organizational skills. Like I said, this kind of business requires you to be handling multiple things at a time. You are looking for loads at one point from, point A to point B. Then you're looking for a load from point C to point 9, point 9, whatever. But you're looking for loads for maybe like 3 trucks at a time. You're taking phone calls during that time from drivers. You're making calls to brokers, and you're sending out emails for the same lengths. Meantime, you are answering emails from some of the brokers. Sometimes you're updating on ongoing rates, on ongoing routes. Sometimes you are speaking to payables and uploading paperwork. All of this is happening in the same time frame. So being organized and having some sort of online organizational apps and platforms can help you. But also knowing how to keep everything going in spite of what is happening in your life personally is also very crucial. So organization is very key, because it means you know where the BOLs and proof of deliveries for each load is, for each carrier is, and you have little folders in your computer, in your system that you have set up to be able to help you. Of course, there are systems for this, but if somebody is already messed up in the way they operate, it means it's going to transition also in this. Then we have to see this person being reliable and resourceful. If you are talking about reliability as a carrier, I need to be able to, sit and know that I'm comfortable. Tomorrow I'm going to get the next load, because that is what we signed up for. Being able to get load after load after load. We need to be seeing certain numbers of revenue coming into our account. If I am not comfortable counting on you to get that done for me, then there's a problem. The reliability in the sense that when I land into trouble, if I land into some problems on the way, on the route, you're going to be able to step in and help me with that. As a driver, as a carrier, these are things that I want to be able to see from my dispatcher. Also, as a dispatcher, you want to see that you are good at negotiations. Negotiation is very key, because that's the whole thing. We're trying to make money and you're trying to get the best rate for your carriers. So having some bit of negotiation, do some research, figure out how to be best at this. Most of the time, if you have the pro versions of all the load boards, you have a rough idea of what a particular lane is paying for. But that doesn't mean that's what they're going to pay you. You have to be able to push a little bit and get some more from your brokers, some more from your shippers, and not to lowball yourself. So having some great negotiation skills also helps if you are a dispatcher, or if you are working with a dispatcher and they do not care. Because sometimes I see people who have, dispatchers that have just the tendency of just clicking on whichever load that is there. As long as it has some money, I'll make my percentage. Who cares about the carrier? But that's not the point. I want to focus so much on career growth, because if you see somebody's business grow and that growth is somehow attributed to you as a dispatcher, that is I think something, I start to put on my shoulder. It's something that I'll be proud of going forward. And it means you keep that career to your side much longer than if you are not making them money, if you are not helping them grow. The numbers do not lie. Over time, these carriers will find out that you are not helping them grow because you are not paying attention to their cost per mile. So paying attention to cost per mile when you are doing negotiations is very crucial, and it is a skill set that you must be able to nurture and grow and develop as a dispatcher. Being able to network for your carriers, get them signed up with multiple brokers, but not just signed up through the load board, but having personal relationships with different brokers, different agents. These are people who are going to be giving you inside access to loads before they post them out. They can't be able to ring you up before these loads are dispatched out to the public. Then I think that's supposed to be a very, very good thing for your carriers, because then they make more money and they're able to cut out the middleman. So having that skill set of being able to network also is important, because I know my parents used to say a closed mouth does not feed. It will never eat. If your mouth is closed, you can't eat. So if you're not going to talk about your business as a dispatcher to find carriers, to find new carriers, especially today where marketing is just cutthroat for every business, you have to be able to network also for your carriers too. Then you need to have some great computer skills. This is very important too, because most of this work is mostly on the computer and the phone. You have to be able to navigate a lot of systems when you are doing the dispatch. They're not so many, but just multiple at a go. You're looking at emails, you're looking at load boards, multiple load boards, you're looking at TMS systems. So being able to navigate these and take the full advantage is very important to you as a dispatcher and also your carriers, because it means you're going to be performing at the peak of everything when you are working these computers. So the best thing about this entire thing is that all these skills can be acquired. They can be nurtured. You can train yourself over time. You might be able to get to the top of everything because you've trained yourself. It takes time, of course, but anything that you put your mind to, you might be able to get it if you really, really want it. So just focus on getting some of these things. If you're a carrier, focus on finding somebody who is good at these things, good at marketing, good at communication, very reliable, open-minded to businesses. You must be open-minded when it comes to finding carriers, looking at different relationships, being open to other businesses, because as a dispatcher, you will be able to sometimes open up some kind of recruiting agencies. A lot of carriers come to me when they don't have drivers, or maybe they don't know how to set up their business, and you can be able to help them with that, training them how to do the business, training them on what tracking is. So being open-minded to opportunities is also very important for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. Thank you for the subscribers so far that we have. For Dispatch, we have our link there for Instagram. You can go and follow us there and see how we do our business here at Pathfinder Dispatch. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.